It's nice to be with you here today to discuss and reimagine productivity through AI-powered automations. My name is Paraskevas. I am Chief Operating Officer at Xenatus Global. I have more than 2 decades of industry experience in digital transformations in a slew of industries, and especially in the areas of financial services and maritime. Our company, Xenatus Global, was formed in the early 2000s in North America. Started with the digitization of the film studios in California, and then in the mid-2000s, we took the strategic decision to join the Microsoft partner ecosystem, initially engaged in ERP as an ERP consultancy firm, and then following the technology and following closely the footsteps of Microsoft, we ventured into Microsoft Cloud Technologies and Microsoft Automation and AI. We currently service more than 500 customers across 45 countries and 5 continents, and our apps are available on the Microsoft App Stores and through our global network reseller channel. Now, for today, what we want to discuss together and touch on is we want to give you our view as to why we feel that AI is a compelling technology, but then take a step back and sort of take an X-ray scan of today's reality and where our organizations are actually positioned, and how do we step into the future? How do we make the step into the future? I will be the boring guy, not talking about autonomous vessels and about fuel efficiency and AI in maintenance. I will look more into the back office and all those man hours, thousands of man hours are being wasted in doing repetitive tasks. So, I think we all agree that artificial intelligence is not yet another tech trend and buzzword that will fade away. I think we already live it, we are already experiencing it. We've seen how it disrupts the way we do things, starting from a personal experience, but then also rolling it out into society and organizations. So it drives competitive advantage. If delivered correctly, if designed correctly, it gives us that edge that basically transitions the way that we operate, and it gives us a different experience, whether we are the customer, whether the employee, whether we are the supplier. Automations, efficiencies, and at the same time, it's a technology that adapts with changes. New data comes into our pool, it will read it, it will adapt, it will learn, it will dynamically change. We introduce a new piece of software that delivers new data before that we've never had before. Again, it will adapt and learn. A technology that right now is based on a mature cloud infrastructure, irrespective of whether we're talking Microsoft, AWS, it doesn't matter. The cloud infrastructures available today have matured. AI technology is accessible, and we have a growing pool of experienced consultants that have the knowledge and the industry-specific experience to help us. While that's happening on the technology side, what's happening to our day-to-day activities? They're becoming more and more complex. Take the simple task of making a decision, simple in quotation marks, obviously, and how more difficult and challenging is to make a decision today versus 2 or 3 or 5 years ago. We need to take data that is currently probably spread across different departments. It's external to our organization. It's sitting somewhere. We need to consider it. What kind of data do we need to make a decision? it's not just transactional data. We need to consider environmental, behavioral. We need to consider so many factors that we'll have to take into consideration before reaching a decision. And guess what? Whatever decision we reach today, it's not static, it's not one-off. We need to frequently revisit it, iterate it, and make sure that it's always up to date. At the same time, who's our client? Who's going to be using this infrastructure? Whether it's our employees, our agents, our suppliers, our customers, they are all living in a connected environment. They're all living through their devices, through a slew of apps, whether they're performing corporate activities, whether they're performing social activities, whether they're interacting with the government. Connectivity, automation is everywhere. So what kind of environment, digital environment, do we need to provide for our clients in order to make sure that they deliver to the top of their capabilities and they enjoy the experience in doing it? Gartner has identified a set of forces that are shaping up how sales, in their example, but I believe that if we look at them, we all agree that it's not just sales. I mean, things like technology, obviously, digital piranha, which has to do with data security, data availability, information protection, compliance, regulation, legal, all of this is shaping how we will be delivering our tasks on a daily basis. And they are predicting that by 2030, 70% of routine sales tasks will be automated. And 80% of the sales leaders consider that AI will be an integral part of their sales workflow. If we stick to the first percentage, if by 2030, 70% of routine tasks will be automated, that means that 70% of the tasks our current sales operators do are repetitive. It's just repetitive work that can be alleviated so that they can focus on what really matters, sales. And to close this part, PwC again gives us the impact of the estimated impact of AI on global GDP, and they place it at 15%. So it's happening, it's there, I believe we all see it, but the next question, the critical question is, where are we? What's our stance? And how can we capitalize on AI? So if we take an X-ray of the average organization, usually this is what we find. We find numerous systems and applications, either totally isolated and disconnected, or some of them are connected through some spaghetti of interfaces, loosely connecting, automating some processes, but in reality, my systems are not connected. And unfortunately, in many cases, we have a human interface, data being exchanged between emails, WhatsApp, Viber, telephone, verbal. So can I get automation and AI through this? Obviously, no. So what do we need to do? We need to change. We need to have a brain in the middle. We need to have a central brain in the middle that connects to our internal systems, that connects to our knowledge bases and any third-party data sources that we have available, not just to connect between them, but also to map them, to make our data not flow uninterrupted. And then we can give access to all that data wealth to any stakeholder that needs to have access to, whether it's our vessels, our engineers, our employees, our clients, our agents, our suppliers. If we put an AI spin on this, again, the logic is the same. I have my connector and my central intelligence layer. Then I have an outer circle, which is my applications. And at the outside, on the third layer, I have my unified enterprise user interface, my AI agents that help whoever needs access to information, whoever needs to gather data, make sense of it, and trigger workflows to do his task. They can do it through intelligence and agents that will do the legwork, and we can focus on actually delivering what is needed. I see the time, so I'll skip a couple of slides. So there's a set of steps that we need to take. And the first one is an honest reality check. Where are we as an organization? What's the quality of our data? AI is useless without data, and it's dangerous with the wrong data. So what's the quality of our data? And is our data accessible? Having it in box files is useless. Is it accessible? Or is it in a system that's there, it's in electronic format, but it's locked? I cannot access it. Then, is my team ready for this change? And for the team to be ready, it begs the question, is my leadership ready? And do I have the culture set for this? Once I have that, then I need to choose. I need to choose the technology I'm going to use for my AI transformation. I need to choose my infrastructure. Do I go cloud, on-prem, hybrid? I need to see to have my seamless integration of the data. And of course, I need to carefully choose the partner that will walk the journey with me. Once we have that, then we need the roadmap. We need the vision. Where do we want to get to? What are the milestones? What are the matrices we want to use along the way? But we don't need to rush. We have to select carefully pilots to validate that we are on the right path. We've done the right selections. Paramount to all this is change management. Our employees have to be part of the change. We don't deliver the change to them, we deliver the change with them. So they have to understand why we're doing it, what the benefits are, and while we're taking the KPIs as we're changing on the matrices we mentioned before, these have to be made known not only to management, who is our project sponsor and is investing, and definitely they want to see the fruit of their investment, but also our people that are staying committed for this. So in closing, what we would like all of us to walk away today from here and take with us is that introducing AI agents along with automation is a process that will strategically transform how we operate as an organization. And it will drive our competitiveness, and it will keep us growing in the future. We need to think big, but we start small. We need to make sure that we're on the right path. Commitment, because it's a long journey. It's not a project that will finish in 3, 4, 6, 8 months, 12 months, 18 months. It's a longer journey, so we need to stay committed and to collaborate. But at the end, if we embrace these intelligent technologies, we're unlocking future growth. I want to leave you with a short demo of something we put together just for today. Obviously, it's on demo data and scenario, but we took some cases that are out of discussions with shipping companies and their struggle of identifying the right information to tackle a task. And then, of course, once I have the information, it's not enough. I need to make some action plan and follow it through and see how I can complete it on time. So in our scenario, as I said before, we're a Microsoft company, so we're using Microsoft Teams as our access point to an AI agent we called our shipping advisor. So I will start by asking the agent, what do I need to do? Because I have a vessel under Cyprus flag and it reported fire on board. As you know, that means I need to go and see through circulars, I need to understand what needs to happen. So my agent not only has given me a bullet list of what actions I need to do, it also gives me access to the source of that information, in this case, some PDF documents. I can review it, and then I can ask my agent to generate tasks. Each task, I set it with different due dates. If I want, I can ask my agent to assign it to a colleague or different colleagues. And the agent will go and generate these tasks in our task management system, provided it's accessible. In our case, in this small demo, we're using Microsoft Planner. So I have a list of tasks that I can monitor. I have a status. I can see if they're completed or not, if they're in progress. And then I can do that either through my planner, or I can have my agent investigate on a daily basis and come back to me in case that they feel something has to be chased because I'm running out of time. That's all I had for today. It's been a real pleasure to be with you today, and hopefully we'll get the chance to have some private discussions. Thank you.